Hey guys!
Alright guys, we're here today to check out a video from the Black Dahlia murder. They have a new album coming out on Metal Blade Records, I believe April 3rd? Maybe a little bit later in April? It's in April, early April. There's a new album from the Black Dahlia murder. And this is the first official music video. I think they released a lyric video before, if I'm not mistaken, for...
But this is the music video.
But this is the first music video. I'm almost 100% sure there was a lyric video at some point in time for the first single. This is the second single, and this is an actual music video. I already have the album. I had the album, I'm going to say since early February, I believe. The label sent me the album. I already pre-recorded a review, so I already heard this song. I've heard the whole album.
Yeah.
But the reason I want to check out this video, first of all, I want to check out the video. We haven't done a Black Dahlia murder video on the channel since we did Nightbringers, and that's when they released the previous album. I think it was in 2017.
Shit.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Yeah, 3 years since they released their previous record. So, and that's the only video we've ever done from the Black Dahlia murder on the channel. So that's the reason why I wanted to check this. Plus, I really like this album. This album absolutely kicks ass, and for a band that their genre is melodic death metal, and they have a specific sound to their own melodic death metal. Let's put it that way. They have their own DNA. When you hear this band,
you spice to it.
Yeah, when you hear them, I feel like you could totally tell that it's them. They have a specific way that their sound comes across. This album is really good. I really enjoyed it. I listened to it a lot, even after I did the album review and I recorded the album review. So I want you to listen to this song. It's not one of my favorite of the album, but it's definitely one of the best ones. But in all honesty, there's no bad ones on the album. The album absolutely kicks ass from beginning to end. So, on that note, are you ready for some Black Dahlia murder?
Yeah.
Alright, let's do this.
Torrents of hellish winds, temple rebellious soul, laughing ignorant, swords unveiling nature's darkness. Abominably, dark spells shall manifest, footsteps of meaning rifts, in this maelstrom of the flesh, of fate or no end to resist. So black is this fire, so loud is this sound in me. Extinction level linger, wailing inside the webs. For this royal iron fist, to the sickle of permanent necks. The lifeless summoning, the boundless chasms of death. Something wicked is always. So sweet is the wild, the blood of defiant wind face eternally. Incubus, succubus, stop to us. Incubi, succubi, undefiled until the burning side. Won't you burn in hell with me? Selfishness, business, my Lord abandoned me. Jesus, in this world it never did. Down to rise, I go to incubus, succubus, succumb to us. Incubi, succubi, undivided until the burning side.
All right. Since I already knew the song, I pre-recorded an album review. I haven't posted yet. I was waiting for us to do this video, and then I'll post the album review. So I really want to hear from you, because like I said, I knew the song, I know the album, and this is the only second time I think you're listening to the Black Dahlia Murder after we did Nightbringers.
And I forgot how good they were.
3 years ago. Wow,
I forgot how good they were.
By the way, before you give your opinion, I just want to say this: when we did that video Nightbringers 3 years ago, I remember making a comment about Trevor, the lead singer, saying like, wow, I've never seen like a metal lead singer with glasses, because he wears glasses. That stuck in my mind at that time when we did that video. And that, believe it or not, that video, that song is what introduced me to the band. I had never heard the band before up until we did that video. And from that point on, I obviously listened to that album. I went back and I listened to some of their older records. So I was really excited about this release. So I discovered this band through their previous record 3 years ago. And now I'm a big fan of the Black Dahlia Murder.
I feel like I liked it when we did it, but I didn't like it enough. Obviously, it was really, really early into our channel.
It was really early into our channel. I think we did it like a couple of months into the channel.
Yeah, so I wasn't much into...
Heavier stuff?
Like, I like the melodic metal, but...
At that time, I think you were more into power metal.
Power metal was my thing. This, though, they turned it to 11. They turned it to 15 when it comes to the drums, too. Because the drums are absolutely relentless. But you can still hear the melody in the background. It's beautiful. You can hear melody in the background of these absolutely destroying drums.
One of the elements of this album that I really gravitated towards, and I think when I say this, you're going to agree with me, it's not just in this song, it's pretty much throughout the record, and that is how much they use the bass.
Yeah.
And they didn't hide the bass. It's really noticeable in this track.
Especially that little bridge part.
Yeah. It's really noticeable. And it's noticeable throughout the whole record. It's not like you're just going to get it on this song and then the other songs. No, they did not go Metallica and Justice for All.
They did not skimp on the bass.
They didn't go cheap on the bass throughout the whole album. It's not like the bass plays a predominant role in terms of always being in the forefront. You know, like some bands like Beyond Creation, for example, they really rely on that fretless bass to give a specific sound within certain tracks. I'm not saying they went all the way to that point, but they didn't skip on it either. It's really predominant. You can really hear it throughout the album. On every single song, there is a piece of it that becomes a little bit more, that moves a little bit more into the forefront, becomes a little bit more noticeable, but it's always there. And it's something that I really enjoy because not only it adds melody, I really like the sound of the bass. It adds melody, but it also adds darkness at the same time because it has a melodic darkness to it, the way the bass sounds. And then how it interacts with the rest of the track and with the vocals, it adds to that melody, and at the same time, it adds to that darkness. That's my opinion. And it's something that if you're a big fan of that kind of groovy bass line, you're going to get a lot throughout this whole record. It's not just this song, it's going to be throughout the whole record.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and like you said, the song is very, very melodic. It's still very heavy and relentless.
It's still very melodic, but it's kind of like, you have to, like, it
comes in waves.
It comes in waves because sometimes it's really in the forefront, but then sometimes it's just getting... like demolished by the drums.
The drums are almost like the drums come over and just cover everything.
Yeah.
And then as they start to dissipate, the melody creeps back in, and then the drums comes back again, covers everything, and there's this sense of a tide. There's a tide going between the melody of the guitars and the heaviness of the drums. And one thing they did really good about this record, this is a record that really has peaks and valleys. It's not a record that it's like necessarily very linear, where all the songs kind of sound the same. No, this record is really like a roller coaster ride. Like it just you feel like
something different every time.
Every song gives you something different, but there's enough common denominators throughout each song that the album doesn't feel disconnected. There's certain things that are the same on every track, but they use them in a different way in order to make the songs feel and sound differently. Exactly, but they're still there. So once you start looking when you start looking at the big picture, when you take a step back and you look at the whole album from far away, it feels like a whole album. But it feels like an album where you better strap in, because it's like it's a roller coaster from beginning all the way to the end. Very, very powerful, very melodic, melancholic at times. I thought that this album had a lot of melancholy to it, perhaps more than previous records. Or at least it was more noticeable. I felt it was more noticeable on this record. So I really like those dynamics. It allows the album to be really interesting when you're listening to, because you don't want to step away from it. It's like when you're watching a show and the show ends with a cliffhanger. So you want to watch the next episode because you want to see what's going to happen next. Then that one ends with another cliffhanger.
And you're there at 1 o'clock in the morning. And you're like,
exactly. Then you binge watch like a whole season of Utrecht of Bed and Breakfast. You know what I mean? Like it's just what it is. This album is like that. Every song is like a cliffhanger that keeps you coming back to the next one. I really love that. I really love that. You have anything you want to add? It was good.
It was really good.
Yeah, this album is really good. This album kicks ass. All right, guys, this is it for today. The Black Dahlia Murder. I guess we not even said the name of the song. Child of Night.
Child of Night.
Yeah, we not even said the name of the song. All right, Child of Night is the track, second single. The album comes out, I believe, April 3rd. If not April 3rd, the second week of April. It's really early in April, maybe April 14th. I'm not exactly sure, but really early in April is when this album comes out. So I'm sure you guys watching this know exactly what the date is. Just go pick it up. Especially now, everybody's quarantined. Might as well pick it up and listen to it at home.
I'm going to still be at home by then.
Yeah. Well, you definitely will still be at home by then because schools are closed here. So anyways, you can just pick it up and listen to it at home.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, come back tomorrow. We'll have more videos for you. See you guys.
See ya.